Hi, this is Greg Benz with an overview on how to install the Lumenzia and Lumenzia Basics panels for Photoshop. This is the Windows video. If you're using a Macintosh, please see the separate video for Mac. The installation on a Mac is a little bit simpler and a little bit different. So if you are using Windows, the first thing you need to do is download Lumenzia. You should have an email after purchase with a link to download, or if you get an upgrade, another link. And once you've downloaded, you simply want to right click and choose extract all. And I would recommend using that approach. If you have a custom unzip program, I would still just right click and choose extract. Use the built-in Windows utility. And obviously I'm on Windows 10 here. Your version of Windows may look slightly different, but all the concepts should be the same. So once we've installed or unzipped the contents here, we can click into it and we can see all the various Lumenzia contents. There is the how to install doc, both as a Word doc and a PDF, so whatever you've got on your system to view it. There is this install JSX bin file. This is the install script. This is the key thing you'll need to install. And with that, let's get going. So you want to right click on Photoshop. Make sure you may have to do this twice here. Right click and choose Run as Administrator or Run Elevated. And the reason you need to do that is if you don't give extra permissions to Photoshop, then it won't be able to run the parts of the script that copy files. It's built-in security option, so you just simply need to let it know that it's okay to run a script by running as administrator. So once we've opened up here, just give it a second. Once we've opened up, just simply go up to the File menu. You want to go down to Scripts, Browse. So that was File, Scripts, Browse. Click that, and this is where you can navigate to find the script you want to run. And it's already pointing to the correct directory in this case. You may need to navigate there, but you don't see the file because you need to point it to JSX bin. This is a little filter, so just need to let it know which files to look for. Once you've done that, you should see the file here, and you can just simply double click or hit load, and it's going to run the installer. And at this point, it should simply be a matter of checking the accept the terms. You could choose to not install one of the panels if you want, but they're going to both install by default, and then just hit install. And assuming everything goes well, you get a message letting you that Lumenzia installed, and a second message letting you know that the Basics panel installed. And so at this point, they are installed, but if you go up to try and open them, you won't see them just yet because we need to restart Photoshop. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to hit X here, and we'll just relaunch Photoshop. And once this comes up, if the panels are able to run at all, then we are good to go. It's really kind of a it works or it doesn't work type of scenario. If you're using an older version of Photoshop, you will probably also have to install one additional plugin from Adobe, and I'll show that in just a minute. So once we get going here, you're going to go up to the Windows menu, Extensions, and now we can see both Basics and Lumenzia. So just click on those to open each panel. So I've got the Basics panel, and go back up one more time and to Lumenzia. And now I've got both panels. You can move to the edge and resize these as you want. You want to get rid of those little resize scroll bars. So if you like where they are, you're all set and you can get running. To test that they work, just click on any button. And we see an error message here that it wants to open an image, so that is an indication that the panel is working. If we've gotten to this point, everything's good. Like I said, if you're in an older version of Photoshop, you may need to do one more thing specifically for vibrance and saturation. I'll come to that in a second. Now, once you have these here, I like to drag these. If you click, hold, and drag up, you'll see these little blue markers. It's telling you where it's going to drop. So I'm going to move it where it's right above here, this thin line, let go, and I put Lumenzia above my layers palette. Do the same thing with Basics, and now I've got both panels docked here for just quick and easy access. And again, I can resize things to create a little bit more room, and if I ever want to get these out of the way, I can simply double click to kind of hide them. So that's the quick and easy way to put these where you want. Now I'm going to go ahead and close these and just show you, if you ever didn't have the panels here, for some reason you close them or you don't know why you don't see them, just go back up to Window, Extensions, and there's the panel. Click on that and you'll open it right back up. So we are completely installed on a new system. If you click on Vibrance or Saturation and you're running CS6 through CC 2014, you're probably going to get an error message asking to install the optional multi plugin. So what is that about? That is an Adobe application that adds a little bit of functionality that's needed for one of the filters here, and we're just going to create a new file so I can show how you test that you have it. So if you didn't get an error message on those, you're probably okay. But the way you can truly test that you have the optional multi-plugin is open any image, go to Filter, Other, and if you see this HSB/HSL, then you are properly installed. If you don't see it here, or you're seeing a message about the optional multi-plugin, we need to do one more thing to install, and I will show you how we do that now. So to get to the optional multi-plugin, let's go ahead and open up our installation document here, which has all the information on how to install, as well as if we go all the way down to the end, it's going to have information about the optional multi-plugin, which, as I said, actually comes from Adobe. So let's go back up here. So you're going to have to download it from Adobe separately. And here we go. So we've got the links. So I just want to click on the download link for Windows. So I'm just going to open up this folder. If I go back to my downloads folder, or wherever files get downloaded on your computer, I now have this optional multi-plugin folder here, this zip file. I just need to extract it. And what it's going to do is it's going to pull out several plugins that come from Adobe. They're all kind of in one place here. And just go to the version that corresponds with your version of Windows. So I have 64-bit Windows, so I go in here. And here's the optional multi-plugin. I just need to copy this from where it is now to the right destination folder. And to get to there, go back to the instructions here, and we'll see I'm on Windows 10 64-bit. And let's say that I want to install it on CC. So if I do that, I want to copy this row here in purple. So this is, I can navigate here if I want to directly, but I'm just going to copy it. I find it a little bit easier to just simply do it this way. And I need to create a new window here. So I'm going to do a side-by-side copy. And if I go up into this browser bar here, right click and paste. So I'm just literally just copied and pasted in that link I had, hit return, and it navigates right to where I need to be. Now you can see that there's already an optional multi-plugin here because I previously installed it. I'm just going to delete it just so we can kind of see this process. Just simply grab it, just click and drag it over. You'll see it's move. I'm just going to hit Option or Alt the Command key to copy it and give it permission, and it just simply copies it into this location. So at this point, by putting it into this plugins folder, I have now installed the optional multi-plugin for Adobe Photoshop CC, and I'd be good to go. So that's all you need to do is copy that into place. So that's the complete installation. If for any reason you got some error message during the installation, it is possible that you have security settings on your computer that aren't going to allow the script to run. So that was back to, in the original Lumenzia files here, we had this JSX bin file. If you can't run this for any reason, that's okay. There's a separate way to install the panel, and that is manually just copying the required folders. Installing a panel is literally just as simple as copying and pasting these folders. So in Assets, you're going to see Lumenzia and Basics. One folder for each panel. Just go to the panel you want to install, open it up, and you'll see these subfolders. The ZXP folder is if you want to use the Adobe Extension Manager. That's yet another way of installing. I just want to show you the manual method. So you have the Flash and you have the HTML folders. Flash is for CS6. HTML is for CC or newer, including CC 2014 and CC 2015. So let's assume we're going to install on CC. So I'm going to open this up, and I need to copy this to the appropriate location on my computer. And to find it, go back to the installation instructions, and we just need to go to the section for manual installation, which is marked as method number 4. And in there, we're going to see a folder location that we want to copy. And I apologize for the speed of this computer. I'm running some things in the background that are kind of slowing things down. So we can see I want to go to the Windows folder for CC. I just need to copy this location. Now you can manually navigate here if you want to, but just be aware that some of these folders are probably hidden folders. So if you haven't enabled the ability to see hidden folders on your computer, you might not think you have one of these folders, and you might not get there. So I really recommend doing the copy paste method here. That way it doesn't matter if the folders are hidden or not, you're going to be able to get there. So I'm just going to create one more window again, And now I'm going to go up in here again, right click, choose paste, hit enter, and this is taking me right to this location. So this is where my Adobe Photoshop CC extensions are. You can see I've got mini bridge, I've got the cooler panel, etc. But I don't have anything for Lumenzia yet. But all I have to do now is just drag and drop this over. I'm going to hit Control to make a copy and give it permission, and it's going to copy everything over. And at this point, when I have the com.lumenzia.ext folder here, I am already installed and I can open up and get running. Let's go ahead and install basics. So I'm going to go back to my assets folder, go to basics, go to HTML because I'm on CC, and again, make a copy. And so now I've installed both panels in here, and I should be good to go when I run Adobe Photoshop CC. If you don't see the panel open or you see any sort of error message about a digital signature, one thing to watch out is you need to make sure that you've copied these folders, right? Just this one folder, which is going to say com.lumenzia for the HTML, or if you're in the Flash panel, it just says basics. That's the folder you want to copy. Don't copy Flash or HTML itself, just their contents, and don't copy the sub-contents, or don't manually go into here. If you don't copy everything, or if you change anything, then that can corrupt the file. So just copy this folder in its entirety. If for any reason you have any issue, you can simply delete what you've installed in the target folder here, unzip the folder that you downloaded, or the zip file, and start the whole process over. There's really no harm, no foul. As I said, it's simply a matter of copying the right folder from here into your destination. And for the multi-plugin, same thing. You just need to download the multi-plugin and copy it to the folder you need it. It's just that easy. Once it's in place, if you click on any of the buttons in the panel and you get any sort of activity out of the panel, then you're good to go. There's really no kind of halfway. It's going to run or it's not, with the exception of the vibrance and saturation buttons, which may require the optional multi-plugin that I showed here.